In this video, we'll discuss the fundamental structure of an academic essay. Remember, a well-structured essay is like a delicious sandwich. The introduction and the conclusion are the bread and hold all the fillings together. The fillings are the body paragraphs filled with juicy evidence and relevant examples. Like a sandwich, every bite of the essay should be predictable as the reader works through the points. This means that the topic of each are presented in an introduction, stated as a topic sentence at the beginning of each paragraph, and summarized in the last sentence of each paragraph, which is called a concluding sentence. In the introduction, you should hook the reader with an interesting opening sentence and provide some background information. Then end your introduction with a clear thesis statement that outlines the main arguments of your essay. Your thesis is the most important part of your essay because it informs the reader of your essay as to the point you are making. An easy way to write your thesis statement is to think of it as a summary of your essay. Your thesis makes and supports your essay's point in one concise sentence. Let's take a look at this example of a thesis statement on digital literacy skills. With more information readily available than ever before, it's crucial that students are prepared to examine the material they're reading and determine whether or not it's a good source or if it has misleading information. Teaching students digital literacy and helping them to understand the difference between opinion or propaganda from legitimate real information is integral. As you can see, this thesis statement makes it clear that the topic of the essay is about digital literacy skills, and the main arguments that will be presented will focus on the importance of using digital literacy skills to differentiate between opinion and propaganda, and fake versus real information. Planning and organizing your ideas is crucial for a well-structured essay. Use mind maps, outlines, or any method that helps you visualize your thoughts and arguments. In school, you were taught to use mind maps and spider diagrams to plan your essay. Here is an example of an academic essay plan using this method. As you can see, you will need to plan your essay introduction, which will include a thesis statement and a brief overview that will give the reader of your essay some contextual background information about your topic. The thesis statement will give the reader an indication of what arguments will be presented in the body of the essay. You will then need to plan the body of the essay. In the example, 3 paragraphs have been planned. Each paragraph will include a topic sentence that introduces the main point of the particular paragraph, the supporting sentences, which will include evidence, examples, and analysis of the research, and finally, a concluding sentence that sums up the paragraph main argument and links this information back to the research question. There are a few ways to structure a paragraph, which will be discussed in the next slide. Finally, you will need to plan your essay conclusion, which will summarize your main claims made in the body of the essay and reinstate your position on the research topic. And don't forget to reference your sources in the text and in the reference list. As we can see, essay structure is made of 3 important elements: the introduction, the body paragraphs, and the conclusion. Now that we understand the essay structure, let's focus on crafting effective body paragraphs. They serve as the building blocks of your arguments. Each body paragraph should start with a topic sentence that introduces the main point. Then provide supporting evidence, examples, and analysis to strengthen your argument. But remember, it's essential to back up your claims with proper references. It's all about acknowledging your sources accurately. Remember to use the IIE Harvard referencing style and make sure to include in-text citations and a reference list at the end of your essay. As you can see in the example, this paragraph structure starts with a topic sentence that will move on to an optional explanation or definition of a new term or word. This is followed by evidence that was gathered during research, which might include examples, statistics, studies, and quotes, and then you would need to comment on this evidence. This is an important part of a paragraph, as it shows you have thought critically about the information, and you are able to discuss how the evidence proves your main argument. Finally, you will finish off each paragraph with a concluding sentence, which sums up the main argument presented in the paragraph and links back to the main topic of the essay. There are other methods to structure paragraphs, but they all follow the same basic formula. Let's take a look at the weed model and the peel model. On the left is the weed model, which stands for what, evidence, example, and do. What refers to the topic you will be covering in the paragraph, which is also known as the topic sentence. Next, you will include evidence to prove this argument and follow this with an example that illustrates your point in a practical way. Finally, you will do a summing up of the argument presented and explain how the subject supports your argument. On the right-hand side is the peel paragraph structuring method, which is similar to the weed model, but an additional element is added, which is the first E, explain and expand. This is a very important part of paragraph writing, as it gives you the opportunity to use your own academic voice and comment on the topic while using the evidence you have collected during research to back up the claims you make. We've covered the essay's introduction and body paragraphs. Now, let's explore the critical role of the conclusion. Your conclusion should summarize your main arguments and restate your thesis statement. Avoid introducing new information. Instead, leave your readers with a lasting impression by providing a thought-provoking closing statement. Once you have planned and written your essay, which includes the introduction, body, conclusion, and included Harvard referencing, you've completed your essay. But before you submit it, remember to proofread for any grammatical errors or typos. A polished essay reflects your dedication and attention to detail, and you will often find that marks are allocated to your ability to edit and proofread your work. Now we will explore how to edit and proofread an academic essay. Before we begin editing, it's crucial to understand the purpose and importance of the editing process. Editing involves refining your essay for clarity, coherence, and accuracy. It helps you identify and correct errors, improve sentence structure, and enhance the overall quality of your work. The first step in editing is conducting an initial review of your essay. Read through the entire essay to get an overall sense of its content and structure. Look out for any obvious mistakes, inconsistencies, or areas that need improvement. Now that you have an overview of your essay, let's focus on its organization and structure. Ensure your essay has a clear introduction, body paragraphs with topic sentences, and a concise conclusion. Check if your ideas flow logically and if each paragraph supports your thesis statement. Next, you need to concentrate on improving sentence structure and clarity. Avoid long, complex sentences that may confuse your readers. Break down complex ideas into simpler sentences and make sure each sentence contributes to the overall meaning of the essay. Next, we move on to grammar and punctuation. Correct any grammatical errors such as subject-verb agreement, verb-tense consistency, and punctuation mistakes. Pay attention to proper comma usage, apostrophes, capitalization, and incomplete or run-on sentences. Your essay's word choice and style significantly impact its readability. Replace vague or repetitive words with more precise and varied words. Ensure that your writing style is appropriate for an academic essay, using a formal tone and avoiding informal language or slang. It's essential to give credit to your sources and follow the appropriate citation style. Check that your referencing is correctly formatted and consistent throughout the essay. Verify the accuracy of your references and ensure they match the in-text citations. We've reached the final step, proofreading for errors. Carefully scan your essay for spelling mistakes, typos, and other errors that may have been missed earlier. Read your essay aloud to identify any awkward phrasing or missing words. This is the best way to identify any odd sentences that need editing. So, now you've learned the step-by-step process of editing and proofreading an academic essay. Remember, editing is a vital part of the writing process that helps you refine your ideas and present an academic piece of work. Practice these techniques regularly, and you'll see significant improvements in your essays. There are also many online tools to assist you in editing your essays, and if you use MS Word to type your essays, I suggest you try out the editor function.